Thomas Cole is the head of policy at the People's Vote.
Former European Commission negotiator Thomas Cole.
Thomas Cole is an international political analyst and former European Commission negotiator.
For those in the British Parliament where the Conservative Party didn't have a majority under Theresa May.
I think all this is pointing towards is probably a political crisis emerging later this year.
And in the UK, I think in the end, these measures weren't surprising. They were definitely coming.
It's something which I think is going to be very hard to stomach for politicians on both sides of the debate.
We have a vote on what's known as the Queen's Speech here. Every year there's a state opening of Parliament.
Is what's the likelihood of there being any breakthrough in the current talks on the withdrawal negotiations? But the three key issues here, citizens' rights, the Northern Irish border, and of course the financial settlement.
The very beginning of the process, which is to get a zero tariff, zero quota relationship.
I think the problem with this, and that was a point which Frost made last night, this idea of sovereign equal.
But the way things have developed, the way that people have seen this Brexit, let's call it Brexit chaos unfolding.
The key thing here with Brexit is that in fact what we've had is 3.25 years now of complete uncertainty. It's become a national crisis. But it's clear that the promises which were made in 2016 not only haven't been realised, but cannot be realised.
The UK formally leaves the European Union and enters what is known as the transition period.
And the question is, well, transition to what? This is a damage limitation exercise. It makes the UK much worse off. It makes the EU worse off.
And I say this as a negotiator who used to work for the European Commission on external negotiations. 14 months is not enough time to negotiate a future trade agreement between the UK and the EU.
What we have now is a period of 11 months, and 11 months when it comes to international negotiations is really not an awful amount of time.
There is a backlash against international trade.
If you're a country like the US or like Canada, Australia, India, you're waiting to see what the UK's relationship with the EU 27 is going to be.
Under Silvio Berlusconi, who was the then Prime Minister, that failed. This time round, it's looking interesting. We saw the polls being wrong this year on Brexit. We saw the polls being wrong on the US presidential elections.
From President Trump's point of view, he has decided to pull the US out of the Trans-Pacific Partnership, not even sign it.